motionless puppets crossed by the flow of time. We're choiceless rotters, consumed by the crawling of events. Irony of fate, I had just ceased to exist, and the most important choice of my life was one click away from me.
Mr. Evan Capnose, identity implant KPN4722. The owner of your identity debt, as well as your employer, Securitech Inc., went bankrupt. Hence, I had to personally authorize the foreclosure of your identity. You are in a stalemate, Mr. Capnose. Until the auctioning, your ID is going to be suspended. Mental bollards will prevent you from leaving the city. Identity of your interlocutors will be censored. Your access to the blockchain will stay disabled. Your service weapon has been disassociated from your ID. As the protocol imposes, you are required to reach the court within 4 p.m. on today's date. Beyond that term, I will be compelled to consider you as non-compliant. Have a nice day, Mr. Capnose.
That wasn't my best day so far, but it was still pretty early. There was plenty of time to make things worse.
He's coming.
It was time to run.
Crowded out here. Okay, listen. I know you have a lot of questions, but I need you to trust me. There's a small cover right in front of the door. Stay down and come out slowly. Okay, I can see you again. There is a blind spot under that big turbine. Try to reach it while I look for a way out. Well done. Look at the tank on the right. Okay, now reach the lower floor moving into the shaft. Find a safe spot and I'll be there with a car in minutes. Oh, it's possible something weird may happen with your implants. Just don't worry, okay?
Something weird may happen with your implants. It was already happening, affecting my whole life. I had never seen something like that. My implants were literally learning from my experiences.
I'm picking up your position. I'll try to move closer. Capnos, right? Glad to see you're still alive. Listen, we are under a certain amount of time pressure, but I think I owe you some explanation. I'll have to be quick, so is there anything specific you'd like to know before we move forward? Your implants are not exactly compliant. Or better, there's an experimental firmware running your implants. It shouldn't have emerged now. Well, not just you. The firmware was in the testing phase for most of your colleagues in the operational department. It just didn't have to happen now. I wasn't expecting the bankruptcy of Circotect. They're trying to sabotage me. That's what I'm trying to find out. But we need to cooperate for this. Whoever is trying to sabotage Circotect has eliminated all your colleagues. You may have noticed that somebody is trying to finish the job. Any more questions? My name is Dahlia Kari. I am the founder of Circotect. Or at least I was until this bankrupt bomb exploded into my hands. Bankrupt. All of a sudden, our providers started claiming a payment of debt that shouldn't even existed. I'm involved in what's happening with your implants, but I'm definitely not trying to kill you. Your implants are not exactly compliant. Or better, there's an experimental firmware running your implants. It shouldn't have emerged now. I wasn't expecting the bankruptcy of Circotect. They're trying to sabotage me. That's what I'm trying to find out. But we need to cooperate for this. Whoever is trying to sabotage Circotect has eliminated all your colleagues. You may have noticed that somebody is trying to finish the job. Any more questions? In the Circotect laboratories, there's a weapon built to connect and extend the potential of your implants. If we get it back, it will be a lot easier to stay alive while we understand who's behind all of this. That's exactly what we are doing. I just have to find a safe spot for landing. Let me check. Something is not working here. I'm locked out from the Circotect surveillance system. Your firmware should be able to connect from the distance. Can you bypass the access to the cameras from here? Well done. That's my office. From there we will have a quick access to the laboratories. And it seems we are not alone. Check if the rooftop is safe. I need you to send me the coordinates of the car park. Received. We'll land there in a few seconds.
All the years at SecureTech, that was the first time I set foot in the administration building. That was a weird way to reach the high places.
Did you manage to reach the laboratory? The weapon is at the shooting range, Sector 2.
Alex Keyclose. That name popped up way too often not to be suspicious. Turns out, my life was interesting. to the wrong people, and for all the wrong reasons. I still feel it, that cold shiver under my skin.
I just got notified by the calibration program. Seems you're on the right path. I'll be waiting for you on the rooftop. Keep a low profile coming upstairs.
He's here! Lock down all the exits! We can't lose him!
Suddenly, my implants were picking up a signal. Where was it coming from? The interference was very close. I just had to look around. I had no idea what it was, but apparently my implants did.
Protect the entrance!
top.
The terminal was disconnected, but there was still a chance I could restore the internal network. So, I ended up with a new weapon and a unique interpretation of low profile. Reaching the court alive finally felt like an option.
Okay, after your infiltration, I could restore my access to the surveillance system. I think I know who's trying to kill you. Exactly. Seems you can confirm my suspicions. I found several access attempts from his account. He must be in a real hurry to leave so many evident traces. Long story. Foreclosed is one of the few rich people who can buy back his ID debt from the state. He is also the head of an investment fund, the Foreclosed Foundation. Not sure how many legal details you know about our system, but the implants we get at birth are state property. Corporations buy the ID debt from the state, allowing us to dilute it over time. Foreclosed Foundation is not all Alex's effort. Coming from a family who can settle your ID debt before you are even born has its undoubted advantages. I funded Circuitet thanks to his money, but I kept control over production and the secret experimental program you already know. The experimental program is the only reason that convinced Alex to invest. Despite it being legally compromising, modified implants can pull some serious money. But after the bankruptcy, the experimental program could come out. getting rid of all the evidence of the program will cost him a lot less than being discovered. Kiklos is a free man in our system. I'm not that lucky, but my expertise could settle my debt. If only I could keep the experimentation going. You are all that's left of my work, and our lives depend on each other. I see your frustration, but it's not a matter of what we want. If we don't stop Kiklos, we will both lose everything. My information said he is now at the office in one of his nightclubs, the Lusuoso Club. He's not expecting visitors. We have to stop him there. Glad to see we are starting to understand each other.
It looked like someone was using the electricity grids to communicate outside of the blockchain. Sounds perfect for someone who's got something to hide.
He's in. Stop him in the kitchen. He's here. Fire! Reaching my position.
Kiklos' office is accessible from the VIP area in the dance floor. I'm sending you the coordinates.
I locked him in the lower restaurant. Get him!
Don't move, or I'll shoot! He was behind me. But the worst thing was that I needed him alive. I had to get him talking. Okay, please calm down. Whatever they pay you, I can give you more. Okay. Listen, I'm sorry for the implant experimentation and all, but there's something bigger going on here. You want names? I can give you names. Dahlia Cowrie, look for her. Believe me, killing you would be absolutely counterproductive for me. Cowrie's research on implants were really promising. Well, looking at what you did, she was right. Listen, I just deal with the business, okay? She had control over production, but it was time to cut her out. Correct. I led SecureTech to bankruptcy doing some stuff with our providers. I just wanted to buy the company back at the auction and keep Cowrie out of the game. You see now? It makes no sense to kill you or your colleagues. I need to find that out too. Those people are also all over me. Why do you think I'm barricaded in here? No! Shit! Look at the camera! Those are the guys! Those are the guys I was talking about! He wasn't a better man than his killer, but wasn't the enemy I was looking for either. They were well organized this time.
This is the last unit, sir.
Very well. What's the state of the goods?
The implant is intact and ready for the evaluation. May I proceed with the extraction?
Not yet. I want to ask him a few questions. Will it take long before he wakes up?
Hello, good morning. Did you sleep well, Mr. Capnose? That's kind of rude, Mr. Capnose. I am the expert. I was appointed by the official receiver for the evaluation. But tell me, Mr. Capnose, what's your relationship with Alex Kiklos? Well, this is disappointing. Is that all? I see. Proceed when you're ready. Well, Capnos, it's been a while that we've been investigating Kiklos. We have reason to believe he was trying to defraud the court. You see, Kiklos has bankrupted several companies, which he then bought back at auction, thanks to his affiliates. He's a businessman. Well, no offense, but your identity debt doesn't seem to be that valuable. So why all this staging to snap up the goods of a small-time company like SecureTech? Exactly. Well spotted, Capnos. We suspect that your implants are worth a lot more than the starting price currently set for the auction. Oh, you don't need to be worried, Capnos.
See, until the auctioning, your identity is suspended. Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone. Relax, Capnos. I just told you. It's in the interest of taxpayers, like yourself, that the state does not suffer financial loss due to poor valuations of its goods. Well, we're done here, Capnos.
I had just lost my ride. There had to be another way out.
Intruder alert!
In there was no help Dahlia could give. But at that point, I was wondering if our controversial collaboration would take me anywhere. Crossing the threshold of Keyclose's office, I thought I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. But that light turned out to be a speeding train, ready to bulldoze what was left of my hopes. All my efforts went into fighting to get rid of who was hindering me from reaching the court, only to find that the law itself was enemy number one.
Empty, dilapidated, and oddly quiet. That place was an absurd metaphor of my mood. For the first time that day, it was quiet enough for me to hear my own thoughts, and nothing good could come from it. That silence was not just quiet, it was pure desolation.
Finally, what the hell happened? I've been trying to contact you for hours. Was the implant damaged? Okay. Well, I'll need a few minutes to locate you anyway. Here's a cryptic contact link. Call me back as soon as you can. I have to know what happened.
I told her everything. As long as the implants were dependent on my survival, I could keep pretending I had a friend.
Building 3. There's an elevator there you can use to leave the complex. I have an idea for a plan B, but first of all, I need you to get out of there.
Once again, no easy way out.
He's here. Fire. I got the shot. I need backup here.
Too many turrets. Taking the stairs was definitely a bad idea.
I tracked down the expert. He's at the top floor of Building 3. I'm intercepting a communication.
Well, and how long will it take for the evaluation?
It won't be longer than an hour.
I see. I'll also need an update on the search about key close.
Well, sadly, Capnos killed him before we could do anything. We'll have to close that file.
I expect no more trouble in this case.
I can guarantee there won't be any more, sir.
He's coming downstairs.
Capnos? Don't be foolish. Put that gun away.
That sadistic bastard. The world would probably be a better place without him. but all I was looking for was justice. I wouldn't have shot an unarmed man.
Okay. Accept call. Mr. Capnos? I trust that your presence here is not the result of reckless moves. You see, Mr. Capnos, you think you are the victim here, but none of this is about you. We are all part of a complex system, and both me and you are simply involved in one of its countless procedures. All goods connected to SecureTech have to be evaluated. We have to entertain the idea that Mr. Kiklos was trying to cheat the system and the taxpayers. If there are any illegal operations in action, I have to know. This is my job, Mr. Capnos. Well, think about it, Mr. Capnos. We are like two cells of the same body. We just have different functions. You see, my own freedom is not greater than yours. But my role requires me to prevent the state from being betrayed. You are not the victim, Mr. Capnos. You are nothing more than a suspicious transaction I'm investigating. If you keep creating problems, you'll turn from being the evidence to being the crime. Looks like the deadline to peacefully reach the court has just expired, Mr. Capnos. Unfortunately, I am forced to consider you uncooperative, and to request the intervention of the police department. I highly suggest you stop resisting. If you want your voice to be heard in our system, the best advice I can give you is to start playing by its rules. Goodbye, Mr. Capnos.
Playing by the system's rules. That was exactly what I was gonna do.
Full and final settlement. There are two main creditors involved in the SecureTech bankruptcy. If we can find a deal with them, we can stop the whole procedure before the auctioning. But we may need the neural connectome for that. Anyway, I'll explain on the way.
Again in that car, waiting for new instructions. A few minutes to get dry and warm, and we already had to find a new landing spot.
We can't land here. Now that the police department is involved, no one must suspect that I'm helping you in any way. That's Wazowski's basement. He's our man for the neural connector, and he owes me a favor. Wait, I think I found a good spot not too far away from here, but you'll need to be careful. Remember, it's extremely important that you don't get noticed by police drones until you reach Wazowski.
Neuro connector was a thing before we were all constantly connected to the blockchain. In my case, I needed it to make offline transactions with the creditors, given that I would find a way to convince them to settle the debt. The auction was scheduled at 4 p.m. the next day. It was going to be a long night.
You can't be far. Keep your eyes open.
Some more agents patrolling the area. I was going to have company very soon. As expected, when it rains, it pours, and I needed to quicker take shelter.
Great job. Time to meet Daniel Bazowski now. He should remember he owes me that favor.
Jack. Flying block ready. Off right. Balloon is for Jack.
This better be good. Oh, shit. The girl has a good memory. What am I supposed to do this time? Listen, that's prehistoric stuff, dude. I'll see what I can do. You already have an NSB 500 upgrade in your implant? Guess you're more like the street arm, right? Come downstairs. Let's have a look in your head. Tell Kari it's my turn now, huh?
Wazowski's basement was a sea of junk, and I had to deal with the idea of getting a brain implant upgrade with whatever was at hand.
Okay, let me see if I broke something. Oh, by the way, you didn't have the NSB upgrade. You'll need it to download a piece of blockchain for offline usage. Ready for a test? All right. Have you ever jacked in? I uploaded a small chunk of blockchain. Can you simulate a transaction by connecting the nodes? Well, the NSB is working. Now let's see the neuroconnector. Well, it's patched up with what I found around, but it should still be good for close-range tuning. I'm simulating the signal of another implant. Try to sync with it for a transaction. And it works. Oh, good. Once you're synced, you could save the transaction using the NSB. Oh, and by the way, I've returned the favor with the neuroconnector. But the NSB is gonna cost you. Dude, apart from your brain, you've got some interesting stuff in your head. Just try not to die. You owe me a favor now.
I was all set and ready to strike my final blow, finding the creditors and making sure we could cut a deal. The lawyer, well known for his ability in skirting the law and for managing an entire gray market district. He was the no questions asked hardware supplier for the experimentation at SecureTech.
Move it along, dude. Quarter is shut down today.
don't know. Keep him in restraints. The boss wants to talk to him.
tell Marcus he'll never get a cent from me. Wait, what? Was it you shooting? Whatever, call the cops and get me out of here. Oh, come on! Listen, they'll be back soon. Get me out of here and I promise we'll talk business, okay? Okay. All depot accesses can be controlled from my place. All I could do from here is to give you access to my house. Now, move your ass, SecureTech!
We could finally talk business.
You are making me waste a shit ton of money! Tell Kari I swear it's the last time I work with her.
Just one more deal before I could reach the court. The court. Once all contracts were duly signed, my last job was to make sure the official receiver would validate them and upload them into the blockchain before the auction. Greta Hesper, owner of Shapeshift, a body rental company with questionable morality. Unexpected windfall? Dahlia found proof of their involvement in identity laundering. We had all the bargaining power to discuss our full and final settlement.
Welcome, Mr. Capnose. You are due in meeting room 0. Please, down the hall.
Please, have a seat. Mrs. Hesper has authorized me to proceed with the settlement, but let me tell you that your blackmail was really a low blow. Anyway, we can proceed whenever you like.
You are in a stalemate, Mr. Capnos.
You are all that's left of my work.
Was the implant damaged? Was the implant damaged?
You are all that's left of my work.
Was the implant damaged? Your life, Mr. Captain?
Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone.
Your life, Mr. Captain?
Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone. Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone.
I highly suggest you stop resistance.
Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone. Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone. Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone.
Your life, Mr. Captain? Your life, Mr. Captain? Your life, Mr. Captain?
Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone.
Your life, Mr. Captain?
Technically, it's not like we're killing anyone.
All that's left of
I highly suggest you stop resistance.
Sick bastard. He had interrupted a transaction and was messing with my brain. I had my deal. To break the connection, I just had to overcharge the signal. His implants couldn't handle the load. I had all the deals signed before the auction. It was time to reach the court. The court. Once all contracts were duly signed, my last job was to make sure the official receiver would validate them and upload them into the blockchain before the auction.
This is it, Capnos. All you have to do is to make sure the official receiver will validate the transactions. It's not long till the auction, but as soon as it's canceled, I promise you will get your life back. Be sure, Capnos, I can't lose my research.
I was alone, exhausted, and I was taking my last steps without even knowing if I wanted to. Did I ever really have a choice? On a path that seemed to have no direction, the hands of the holographic clock were about to complete their round, and so was I.
Mr. Capnos. You really can't find peace, Capnos. You are persistent, I have to admit. And yet I can't really understand you. You fought with all your strength against every single order, and all of that to go back to being a property of SecureTech? See, Capnos, to approve those transactions in these circumstances would represent a failure of the system that is my duty to defend. Sure, you could kill me at any time, come here and validate the transactions yourself. The auction would be cancelled, the state would suffer a loss, but you would get back to your life. Now, the question is that really what you want? As I already told you, none of this is about you. And that's why I'd like to provide an option. If you refrain from killing me and allow me to prevent this fraud against the state, I'll pass your file to the Defense Department. During the reactivation of your identity, mind bullards will be inactive for a few hours. They will hunt you, Mr. Capnos, but you'll have the chance to escape the city. I'm offering you the closest thing to freedom.
The most important choice of my life was one click away from me.
Mr. Evan Capnos, Identity Implant KPN 4722. For assessment reasons, your ID will be temporarily restored and reported to the Defense Department. While implementing the change, all restrictive measures will be inactive. Until the transition is complete, you are required to not leave the city, or you will be considered non-compliant. Have a nice day, Mr. Capnos.
Wait, someone hijacked the signal! Unplug everything!
Mr. Capnos. You really can't find peace, Capnos. You are persistent, I have to admit. And yet I can't really understand you. You fought with all your strength against every single order, and all of that to go back to being a property of SecureTech? See, Capnos, to approve those transactions in these circumstances would represent a failure of the system that is my duty to defend. Sure, you could kill me at any time, come here and validate the transactions yourself. The auction would be cancelled, the state would suffer a loss, but you would get back to your life. Now, the question is that really what you want? As I already told you, none of this is about you. And that's why I'd like to provide an option. If you refrain from killing me and allow me to prevent this fraud against the state, I'll pass your file to the Defense Department. During the reactivation of your identity, mind bullards will be inactive for a few hours. They will hunt you, Mr. Capnos, but you'll have the chance to escape the city. I'm offering you the closest thing to freedom.
The most important choice of my life was one click away from me.